Welcome to the Forsyth Magazines podcast. I'm Brooke Eagle, your host, bringing you the stories of the people shaping our community. From business owners to local leaders, we'll explore their journeys, passions, and lessons learned. Let's dive in. Hey guys, we are back with another podcast episode, and today I have a very special realtor. I have Susan Dolan. She is a broker with Ivester Jackson Christie's International Real Estate. Hey, Susan.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So Susan is one of our advertisers in the LKN magazine, Lake Norman area, and has become a great friend of my mom's. Yes. You two are like two peas in a pod. I love it. Yes. All the ADHD, all the things. You guys are so cute. So Susan is like a powerhouse realtor, and it's been so fun to kind of watch you over the last couple of years. And I know you've been doing real estate for much longer, but I want to talk about the Lake Norman market and how unique it is, and kind of what do you think draws people to that area in general?
Okay, so I moved to the Lake Norman area in 2009. We moved from Southern California, and it was a completely different market when we moved there. The Lake Norman market has become a huge second home market over the last, I would say, probably 7 years. There's a lot of second home owners that live on the lake and that are trying to buy on the lake. And that's a big part of my market is second home owners.
So is it like a range, or where do you typically see people, where's their first home, or is it all over the place?
It's all over the place, but there is a little bit of a pattern. There's a lot of Northeast, like New York, New Jersey, and then you have your Midwest people that are coming from like Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, Florida, Texas, and California.
Huh. Wow, it is all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you came from California,
yes,
2009. Did you do any real estate in California?
I did. I actually started in Arizona in 2002.
Wow.
And then in 2005 we moved to Southern California.
Okay.
And I got my real estate license there, but then I also started a staging business. And so I was focusing, because that market was getting really rough back then. Yeah. And so I focused on my staging business, and then we relocated to Lake Norman in 2009, and I got my license in North Carolina, and I started doing both with my staging business and real estate. But then my real estate business took off completely, and I kind of put my staging on the side. It's a value add that I do for people, but it's not something that I do for other agents like I used to.
Yeah, well, just because I know there's a ton of work that goes into staging.
Ton of work, yeah.
Yeah. What do you miss the staging aspect of it at all?
I still bring it into some. Sometimes I walk into homes and I'm like, they're just perfect, and then other times I walk in.
You're like, oh,
yeah. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to pull some stuff out, But,
well, because I mean, if it's your listing, you want it to do the best it can.
I want it to shine, definitely.
Yeah. What's a kind of side note? What's like the best staging tip that you have, like for somebody who's trying to sell their house?
To declutter, less is more, and people have a hard time with parting with their things and putting them away, but they don't. A lot of stuff does not photograph well, because people are like, why are you taking that all off the counters? And I'm like, I promise you, when you see the photos and when the photos.
Well, not even the photos so much as if you're showing it to somebody, your stuff you might love your stuff, but other people don't care what your stuff looks like in there.
Yeah.
They will add their own stuff.
They're trying to envision it'd be their house.
And then sometimes you're right. If they don't like their stuff, they can't get over their stuff. And even though their stuff is not staying, they have a hard time like seeing past.
Like a bad first impression.
Yeah. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Nope, they can't. They cannot.
So, Susan, how have you seen the Lake Norman market specifically change since 2009?
Well, prices have like tripled.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
Insane.
Like, so in the last, from obviously 2020 to 2025, I mean, the prices have doubled in that time period alone.
Wow.
And it's not slowing the market down at all. I mean, the only thing I'm seeing right now is homes that are coming onto the market that need a lot of work or TLC. They're not maybe updated as much as something else that might have sold in that price point.
Yeah.
those are sitting and seeing like price decreases. But things that are turnkey, move-in ready, they go very fast.
Wow.
Very fast.
So where are kind of the hot areas of the Lake Norman area right now?
You have Mooresville, Cornelius, the Denver area, and Sherrills Ford area are actually up and coming.
Yeah.
You get a little bit more for your money in those areas.
Love it. Okay, so we talked about this a little bit briefly, but buying and selling a home it is. It's an emotional process for everybody involved. So do you have any kind of memorable client, I'm sure you have a ton, but a memorable client story, either on the buyer end or the seller end of that just like really made you grateful for your job and like grateful to facilitate the real estate transaction?
There are a lot.
Yeah.
I do get emotionally involved with my clients as well. Like I've become close with them and friends with them and stay friends with them. My last closing was really near and dear to my heart. They were relocating to be closer to family. A lot of my clients are older and they're relocating or selling their house. They're downsizing or relocating to be closer to family.
Yeah.
And this last sale that I had was they were relocating to be closer to family, and it was
special.
Yeah, it was just special. I absolutely love her, and I actually went to Maine this past weekend to see them.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. What part of Maine were you in?
Few
That's where we're going in a few weeks. I can't wait. Oh my gosh, very cool. So, yes, the buying and selling process definitely an emotional process. So we talked about this a little bit too before we started recording, but there's so much behind the scenes that real estate agents do that I feel like y'all don't get the credit for.
Definitely not.
There's you posted a reel recently, just some crazy behind the scenes stuff that you were doing. You were taking out the trash, you were cleaning the shower, you were watering the plants. Like, what are some, just so people are aware, like what are some things that you pretty consistently find yourself doing that people just would be shocked to learn?
My best friend is a leaf blower. It's a blower. So I am constantly, it is in my car. Whenever I have showings, like I said, a lot of my clients are second home owners, so they're not always there. So when I go to show the house, I might go and there could be leaves around the pool, whatever leaves coming up to the front door. So I am blowing.
They always find their way there.
They do. They do.
No matter what season it is.
It's also a great way to meet the neighbors too. When I'm like out there doing stuff, they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "They're like, you have a showing?" I'm like, "Yes, we do." And
we're trying to make the yard look good.
Make it like
because that's their first impression.
Definitely. And then pool, like it was kind of funny. I'm like landscaper, pool girl, stager, sign installer, some like cleaning crew. I'm trying to think of what else.
I mean, that's
I
ton.
have a whole slew of people that help me too. Like I have a power washing company. I have landscapers that help me. But the little things I do, like watering plants, especially with, again, my second homeowners, I go and water plants.
Yeah. Because you can't have dead plants be the first impression.
You cannot.
What would be a tip that you would give to somebody who is trying to sell their home to really help with that first impression? I know we said decluttering for staging, but I feel like definitely some outdoor things have got to be important because when people pull up, that's
definitely having your landscape, like all your bushes trimmed and tight looking, very like first impression from the outside is a big thing. Also, your front door and your door handle. That is when you have a front door that the paint is chipped or it's faded just from the sun.
You got a janky handle.
Or a janky handle. My worst is like whenever the key doesn't work and they're like, okay, you got to lift it up, turn it to the left,
and you're like, get in your door.
Yeah, no, I'm like, seriously, replace that. Like, why is it like, why should I have to, like, why should we have to be dealing with that? That should have been one of the first things that you address when you're listing the house.
And that's an easy fix.
It is an easy fix.
And you would be amazed how many times I cannot open or shut a door.
Oh my gosh.
What are my own listings?
What are some other easy fixes that people should just get out of the way before they even contact a realtor to put their house on the market?
Deep cleaning. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody wants to look at a dirty
Nobody
house.
wants to look at like dirty showers and dirty sinks now.
No,
it's gross. Because then people are just like, "Ooh, I don't want to be here."
Again, you can't unsee it.
No, you can't unsee it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good advice. So do you think, or I know, but do you think women especially bring something different to the table as realtors? And what do you think that is?
I've always thought this, and I don't want to be. I've always thought this, but there's a lot of male realtors out there. I don't. I know when I go in to one of my listings for photographs, I am remaking beds. I'm moving things. I'm making sure that like items are off the countertop, like hand dispensers of soap and paper towels and things of that nature. And I just wonder sometimes, like when I see photos on MLS, I'm like,
is this a man?
Yeah, I'm like, but I don't know. I think we have a lot of women have a design perspective and a little bit, I don't know, we're more multitaskers, I think.
Yeah.
Than
and we have a different emotional relationship, I think, probably too.
With that.
Yeah.
So my question, because I live inside the head of one of those men.
We love men, don't get me wrong.
Toilet paper over the top or around
over
the back?
top.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes.
That's funny.
Yes.
So if somebody is dreaming about having a house on the lake, what is your best tip for them to make that dream a reality?
They need to really have realistic goals, and it's hard sometimes for people because they see things on in magazines and in HGTV, and those are not necessarily reality of what their dollar gets them. And I see people get very frustrated with like their budget and what their budget can get them. And I've had clients that I've had for years,
who are just still waiting,
that are still waiting for that perfect home. And I can't tell you how many they've missed.
Yeah, because the market is always going to be up and down. So you got to catch it at the right time.
Exactly.
People need to realize that Chip and Joanna are entertainers first.
Correct.
And then anything else is all show and tell.
Yeah. Well, and I think also to be realistic, like depending on what your budget is, like be open to more of a fixer-upper. Like you don't have to have that turnkey perfect house. Like have something that maybe needs some work that you can put your own touch on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just depends. I mean, some people, like I said, some people are realistic in their goals and some people are just not at all.
Would you say that's one of your bigger challenges as a realtor?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Lately, especially. There's a lot more inventory on the market, but things are still expensive. And so people get upset when they see certain things, or they'll see something that needs to be done. And I'm like, okay, and in a buyer's mind, and this is something good for sellers too, in a buyer's mind, something that literally could be $100 fix, in a buyer's mind, it's $1,000 or more. And so it's always good to address any of those issues before your house goes on the market, because when a buyer sees it, it's just cha-chinging in their head, and they're just thinking the dollar amount that they're going to take off of their offer for that house.
Dang, that's good advice. So why did you originally get into the real estate world?
So as a child, my mother worked for Century 21.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I was around it at a very, very young age. And then as an adult, we moved around a lot. My husband's career moved us all over the United States. And I was like, this is something that I would love to do, to help other people relocate. And so that's what got me into it.
Oh, that's awesome. And I mean, I'm sure it was helpful too for all of those moves for yourself.
Yes, definitely. I felt like I understand completely coming from a new area, knowing no one, not knowing areas. And I was like, I can help people. I can really make a difference and help.
Yeah. So what do you love most about the Lake Norman area?
It's really pretty. I mean, there's so much to do. so many things to
So
do
true.
outdoors, on the, not even just on the lake, but around in the area with trails and parks. There's a lot of great shopping, a lot of great restaurants. You're really close to go into Charlotte as well, which makes it like less than 30 minutes to get down to Charlotte.
Yeah.
It's a great area.
It is a good spot.
And you're like an hour and a half into the mountains and less than 4 hours to the beach.
I know. We were just talking about that, I think yesterday, about this area, the central North Carolina, that there's not many other places where you can be that close to the beach and that close to the mountains.
California, but
yeah. Cost of living, though. Whew.
yes, cost of living.
Yeah. Do you ever miss California?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. But then I think that moving here to North Carolina was the best thing we could have ever done for our children.
Yeah. How many kids do you have?
3.
3 kids.
Yeah, they're all in their 20s.
I love it.
Got one left in college at UNCW.
But, exciting.
Yeah, and then the other 2, App State and UNCG.
Awesome.
But yeah.
So, Susan, how can we get in touch with you? How can we find you online, on Instagram, on email, all the things?
Okay. So my email is susand@ivesterjackson.com.
Okay.
And my Instagram is Susan S. Dolan at Instagram. And then my Facebook is Susan Stone Dolan.
Awesome. Well, Susan, it was so much fun chatting with you.
Thank you.
Learned a little bit about the real estate world. And any friend of my mom's is also a friend of mine. We've loved getting to know you over the last couple of years.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, guys. And as always, you can find Forsyth Mags online at forsythmags.com and on Instagram at Forsyth Mags. And you can pick up a copy of Forsyth Woman or Forsyth Family at any of your local Harris Teeter grocery stores. And you can find all of our locations on our website. And that's it. That's a wrap for today.
And you can find copies at such and such media.
That's right. The views and opinions stated on this podcast are solely those of the contributors and not necessarily those of our distributors or hosting companies. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced without expressed written consent of Forsyth Magazines Incorporated. Whew, that's a mouthful.